Hello and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Memorial Day weekend episode version of Twin Brothers from Different Mothers, coming to you live from the heart of Las Vegas at Portnoy Gallery. And to my right is the man himself who stays within all the lines while he's coloring, Mr. Neil Portnoy. How are you, partner?
I'm tremendous. Good morning. Another beautiful day here in Las Vegas. It's going to be in the 80s today. Maybe we've turned the corner from what I believe to be a wonderful spring. It stayed in the 60s and 70s. A lot of rain, a lot of clouds, a lot of wind. Boy, am I complaining about the weather?
Actually, you know what the funny part is? The weather has been great for all intents and purposes, but we're actually like 20 degrees below our normal at this time of year. And, you know, I was looking forward to breaking in the new pool, the pool at our complex and everything, but 80 degrees outside weather is not conducive enough to go swimming and coming out alive, if you know what I mean.
People in Nevada understand that in Las Vegas. People back east, what are you talking about? 80 degrees, you're not in your pool? No, it's too cold here.
That's right. Pool. If anybody remembers the Seinfeld episode with George when he was talking about shrinkage, you'll know exactly what we're talking about as far as this not exactly being the best swimming weather yet.
Well, shrinkage, I think of Jose Canseco, but that's a story for another day.
We'll cover that another time. Yeah. Well, it is Memorial Day weekend, and we appreciate you all spending some of your day with us. We realize those of you back east. I see Rita is out there, longtime family friend. So we got New Jersey's on the map, I know, watching right now. We have Cecilia's out there. April Hom, Miss Queen April is out there in California. And Ray, hey, buddy boy, Mr. Ray, how are you? Bleeding Greed. What's happening with the audio file, by the way? I was just curious, Ray. Let me know. Anyway, so if you're watching, do us a favor. Please reshare this on your feed, as that'll be the best way for it to show up on your news feed rather than just the share itself, because it will not spider. And you will want to make sure that you catch and tell all your friends about today's episode. We have somebody on we'll be bringing up front here in a couple of minutes. Gentleman who's very involved in the entertainment scene in terms of providing information to the public through. He's a writer for the Vegas Voice. He has his own blog. He shares info. Plus, he's a musician himself. He's very versed in the music world. Is that right, Mr. Neil?
Yes. What were we talking about?
I could have told him elephants are flying in the room, and he would have said yes.
Yes.
By the way, my shirt today is courtesy and recognition of all those who are serving, have served, and will serve in the future. And we thank you for allowing us to do what we do, and everybody today who has served, we thank you. And this weekend is in your honor for Memorial Day.
I'm waving at everybody. I started a watch party.
Yes. Well, that's a great way to reshare it. Yeah. And it's a great way to, and those of you who are watching, please reshare it too, so that hit your wall. Just don't take the tag and leave it, because your friends will only see it if you retag it or repost it or reshare it on your wall. All right. You brought up something before we went on the air, and I just want to go over a couple of things about some of the great activities that are going on in town for Memorial Day. By the way, we're expecting about 350,000 people to invade Las Vegas this weekend for the holidays.
To the gallery? Or?
Well, hey, listen, the line is starting out there to the left. You never know. You never know. The door's open. If you want to come down and become part of our live audience, we only have a few seats remaining here in our live audience. So 350,000, which is actually less than the amount of people that supposedly attended the EDC music thing last week out at the race ride.
Would you ever go to that thing?
Not at all. I wouldn't come. It's not my thing. It's not my music. It's not my genre.
It's not my age group.
Not exactly. So I think they had like some 50 plus, maybe 58 felony arrests, and which was actually down from last year.
Was that in the first hour?
I think probably. But we had about, from what I saw, over 400,000 people. Up or down?
Up.
Okay. How's that?
No, keep going.
Keep going?
Keep going. Yeah. See, I can barely hear it. There we go. That's
good. Wow. My God, good. You're blowing my ears out. No wonder why my wife always says, what?
I need hearing aids.
But almost over 400,000 people supposedly attended the EDC.
It's crazy. I remember what was it, last year, the year before, people were dying of dehydration.
The heat was terrible.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
So they got lucky with the weather last weekend. Electric Daisy Carnival, I believe, is what the EDC actually stands for. It's out at the Speedway, because really that's the only place that's going to house 400,000 people in this town. They're not going to your house. Your house is not that big.
Not that big, no.
Maybe 4 people, but not 400,000.
40 people I could handle, okay, but not a 400.
It's a good thing you're on a corner lot.
You're right. I can send them down the street.
Now, before we went on the air, we were talking about a prominent basketball program here in town on the high school level.
I'm shocked.
So why don't you share that with everybody?
Well, we have here in Las Vegas a lot of private schools, because there's no state income tax in Nevada or Las Vegas or whatever. A lot of the mid-range, lack of better terminology, wealthy people, rather than send them to the public school system, they send them to private schools. One of those schools is called Findlay Prep. May ring a bell to a lot of our out-of-town listeners because they are a perennial national high school basketball champion. I mean, national. They've sent 8+ players to the NBA. One year they had the number 1 pick from Findlay Prep here in Las Vegas, went to the NBA. They are closing the program of basketball.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's a shock. I mean, they may have already played their last game. That's like Gorman, high school here, which is perennial national football champions, giving up football. That'll never happen. Findlay Prep is giving up basketball.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And you mentioned the Findlay Automotive Group maybe somehow getting involved to help continue the program or something?
Well, there's a little bit of money here in town. So
just a little.
They are, of course, a namesake of the school. I don't know whether that means anything, but I'm sure they contribute mega funds for the athletic programs. And, I come from back east in Worcester, Mass. And when I played sports, we played high school sports. Now everybody pays to play sports at the high school level. That's why the game of baseball has diminished in the high school levels nationwide, because, you can only put 9 guys on the field at once.
Right.
And, your bullpen, your backup players. Why would a parent spend a large amount of money
with limited space?
With limited space, and they're all going toward lacrosse and soccer, where you can put multiple people on and play and whatever. But, that's a story for another day.
Absolutely. So that is shocking news here. By the way, quick shout out. A mutual friend of ours, Annette Lindquist, celebrated a birthday. I believe it was yesterday, but she's in the chat room.
She was in here.
She was in here.
I gave her a hug and a kiss for her birthday.
There you go. So
she gave me acid reflux stuff. What an exchange! It was tremendous.
I won't touch that whatsoever.
She has an organization, a company that produces these holistic remedies, and it's the only thing that has worked so far.
Really?
So I ordered another bottle.
Good for you. Yeah. There you go. There's a testimonial, and that will send you a bill for the testimonial. But anyway, happy birthday. Please send regards to John, and thank you for chiming into our chat room. A couple of things. It is Memorial Day weekend, as we mentioned before, and there's a lot of activities going on around town to celebrate and honor those who served, have served, are still serving, and their families. So if it's okay with you, partner, I'd like to just share a couple of those things courtesy of KTNV.com, channel 13.
Go for it.
And they listed about 15 different things. They weren't all specific to Memorial Day celebration in terms of honoring. They were other events. So I just kind of picked a couple that were specifically honoring those who served. So out at Lake Las Vegas, they are kicking off Memorial Day weekend with an all-day celebration called Holiday Play Day, May 25th, which of course is today. Festivities have already started. They start at 8 a.m. You missed the pancake breakfast if you haven't gotten down there yet, and you've missed the pep parade at 10 a.m., which is supposed to benefit the local canine departments. But the fun will continue with the Blue Heron Pool Party and Woodside Barbecue at noontime. So that's just about kicking off. So get down to Lake Las Vegas and participate in that.
They have blue herons down there? Because I've been down there. I've never seen a blue heron.
I've never seen anything but a gray herring as far as I'm concerned.
How do you shoot a red elephant?
How do you shoot a red elephant?
Yeah.
There aren't any red elephants.
Well, the red elephant gun. How do you shoot a green elephant?
Oh, here we go. With the green gun.
How do you shoot a orange elephant?
With an orange gun.
No, they only come in red and green. That's all I got.
Oh, God, thank goodness. Hey, Carla Bryan's out there watching. Carla just did something. She stayed at your house and watched Cooper recently, right?
She pet sat my Yorkie.
She called us a hoe, by the way, before she corrected spell check to say hi.
A hoe?
We're hoes.
Oh, that's all right. We're in Vegas. We can be a hoe.
We can be anything we want out here.
She's gonna be doing it again, by the way, because Dorothy and I go on a little trip, and we love Carla. And Cooper loves her, and that's all what it's about. So she will pet sit at my house, stay there for the time that Dorothy and I are gone, and it's great.
Zion, Utah. Kerry Smith has checked in. She is now in the chat room. Thank you, Kerry, for checking in.
Did he get drafted by New Orleans? Zion Houston? Oh, that's Zion Williamson.
That's
Never mind.
No, this is hi Sheila. This is not. This was Zion, Utah. The city.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, yeah.
What else do I have here? Oh, here we go. Here's another good thing going on today. The U.S. Army Special Forces Association, Chapter 51, will hold its annual Memorial Day service at 11 a.m. tomorrow, May 26th, at the Southern Nevada Veterans Memorial Cemetery, honoring all Special Force soldiers who died in the service.
Where's that located?
I want to say, isn't that the one up in Boulder City?
I think it is.
Okay, because they actually didn't list the city, but I believe that's the one up in Boulder City.
Right.
Which, while you're up there, I mean, Boulder City is a nice little town to
It's a
walk around.
great little town.
Have you been up there for that arts festival they do?
I did go last year, and it's a lot of
It
fun.
is.
It's a small town. They do it on the common right in the center of town, so you get to walk around and meet some of the artists.
Yep.
Chit chat, have a bite to eat, go see some of the antique stores. I like Boulder City.
And if you don't get up there early enough for that event, parking can be a bit.
Yeah, you can't park.
Unless you can park. You can park more in town, and then they have shuttle buses that'll take you up to the park.
I didn't know that.
Yes, we did that the first year we were there, but the last year or two we've lucked out. We drove up and drove some of the side streets, and we found a spot.
Nice.
I literally, the last time we were up there, I had my wife lay down in a spot so no one could take it while Kate turned around.
Do you have any photos?
No, she wouldn't let me take photos of her doing that. So, all right, here's another thing. This is more general, but 7 Clark County water parks will open up this weekend as of May 25th, kicking off the beginning of summer fun, which we forget. This is the unofficial start of
I
summer.
didn't realize we had 7 water parks. I know the one heading
The
down.
county's water parps.
Oh.
The county's, not Cowabunga.
Yeah,
or
the
Wet and Wild.
Cowabunga one.
That's the one down in
Toward
Henderson.
yeah.
Wet and Wild is out south Fort Apache.
Really? How far out? South
South Fort Apache, like
and-
past. Oh, it's you pass all the major normal cross streets, like past Patrick, past Russell.
by Blue Diamond.
It's well before Blue Diamond, but yeah, you go past the last recognizable street.
Is
on
it as
Fort
big
Apache.
as Cowabunga thingy?
I would say they're comparable. Maybe Cowabunga
They have
might be a tad
They
bigger.
have a lazy river. I like that.
I do.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
the lazy river.
But you know what? Here's the thing. Hi, Kayla. Here's the thing, though. For spending, first of all, in my opinion, they are a lot of fun, and there's no question that you can have a great time out there. But it's expensive to just lay around in the lazy river for guys like you and I, because that's all you and I would do.
Yeah,
It's like $30, $40 for a day pass, and you need, if you take your family, you need a whole mortgage from what I've seen, unless they've changed the pricing structure. But for just hanging out in the lazy river, I got my pool and my complex. That's all I need.
They have any comps?
I don't know, but
I'll check in on it.
But if they would like promotion
Maybe
done
we
on,
can ask Evan. Evan may
know,
connection,
because
yeah.
it is kind of entertainment,
Yeah.
especially if there's music down there.
Yeah.
But if the water parks would like some promotion through us, we'll be happy to take comps.
And we could even give out tickets
There you
at a
go.
reduced twin brothers from different mothers discount.
Exactly right. Anyway, so the county's water parks will open from noon to 6 p.m. this weekend. Just go have fun. Whatever anybody does this weekend, please do it.
Be safe.
Be safe. Don't be stupid, because you know the police are going to be out there checking out what you're doing.
Hey,
And
did you see in the news this morning
Yes.
on a sidebar note?
sidebar,
Cannabis is legal in Colorado,
right? It's been that way for a while.
right? But it's not national.
Correct.
Right. But they just did a big sting operation, bust what was happening on the black market, that growers were growing huge amounts of cannabis and selling it to other states in the country. And this morning I was reading on the Newswire that there were
The Newswire. Wait a minute. You just showed your age, because even Evan got a little chuckle out of
Isn't
Newswire.
that what they call
Are
it?
there still Newswires out there with
Yeah.
all the internet and everything? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the
more-
Newswire?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I just
yeah.
got a kick out of you saying it.
Yeah, it just I went backwards. But they were talking about, they busted a number of people, indicted a number of people for selling across state lines, growing. You can grow up to 6 plants, I think, here in Nevada, for your own personal use.
Mhm.
Or I could do the Bill Clinton. I tried it, but I didn't
Right.
inhale.
I didn't inhale.
But I saw that this morning
Yeah,
on the
crazy.
Newswire.
It's crazy. Hopefully, I think we touched on this last week. Sisolak was proposing a bill that 3% of state revenues are supposed to go to education from
where
the
though?
marijuana sales,
Where?
because right now it's all being dumped into the general fund, and I'm sure it's not being accounted for. But anyway, hey, here's some breaking news. Now we need the teletype sound. That's the teletype. That's the sound, right? Teletype Newswire. That's anyway.
Totally different.
No, it's not. Is it?
Teletype is that.
Right. That's what that was.
Newswire.
It.
I get on my phone every day. I get a Newswire. I do. It
Oh,
says
okay, so they're going
Newswire.
old school on MSN. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Okay, so June 15th, which is coming up in a couple of weeks, and I'm kind of jumping ahead before we talk about the 8th. We're going back on the road. We had such great success.
On the road again.
we-
See, everybody in Vegas can sing. I'm just one who can't.
That's right. What did you do with the singing lesson money?
I gave it up for art lessons.
There you go. Hey, Rafi, how you doing, buddy? How's the Achilles? Let me know how the Achilles is. So we had great success. By the way, we want to thank the folks out at Vegas Hockey, Sports and Hockey up there. We had a great time up there. Brett Taylor, everybody up there. And that show was our number one show to date in terms of views, not only coming out of the live hour where we had about 700 live views in just 1 hour, but it's well over 1,300 in a week.
And that's just on
Facebook
Live. That doesn't count our
other streams.
Feeds. Yeah.
Correct. So, I mean, just as a base number. So that popularity worked. You and I will be appearing on the 15th at Club Pilates.
We're taking Pilates classes.
We're taking Pilates classes. We're going to be doing squats up and down out of a chair.
You're going to be doing squats, not me, pal.
Now, Club Pilates has 3 locations across the valley. The one that we're going to be at is going to be one on West Lake Mead in Buffalo, 7460 West Lake Mead. We're going to be there on the 15th. There's one down on Spring Valley area, South Fort Apache, which is, I've seen that one, is just south of Tropicana, down in that Walmart shopping plaza down there.
Yep.
And then there's one down in Henderson, 10525 Southeastern at Horizon Ridge. So there's 3 around the area. Now, here's why we're going there. Not only because they want us there to do our show, but the month of June is actually Men's Month because of Father's Day. So we're actually going the day before Father's Day. And because last year I participated in this, they're giving a discount for men to come to the studio and participate in Pilates.
Can I just watch?
Yeah, but you might be called upon as a stalker.
It won't be the first time. That's all right. That's all right.
So, hi, Tiffany. Thank you for resharing. I appreciate it. So we're going to be there doing so. Anytime in the month of June, if you go down there as part of their June celebration, men can get a discount to try out a first class, as I did last year.
I'd like to get a vote out there because, I mean, this is one of the episodes that we've done for the last 8 months that Aaron does not have a hat on, which makes it more twin brothers from different mothers. You can't tell who's who on
my
set.
My hat is to my left.
Yeah, you're not putting it on.
You made me not wear it.
No. You're not, and I would like from our listening and studio audience and viewers, etc., to kind of post whether you like Aaron with or without the hat on. I think it gives a better look for our backdrop here of twin brothers from different mothers. But we'll take a national poll, see what happens.
National would be international.
International poll.
By the way, Tiffany and your husband, thank you very much for your service.
My husband, I don't have a husband.
No, Tiffany's husband.
And her husband.
And her husband.
Or in New York, her husband.
Her husband.
Right.
Alexander Brevins, who we had on there for the wrestling tag team champs.
Yeah, sure.
He is married to Tiffany, who's in our chat room.
Oh,
and Tiffany is actually the ring announcer for Big Valley Wrestling. That when I subbed that very first time, she was the one I subbed for.
Does she walk around with, like, the round 3, they do this?
No, she don't walk around. She's much careful how I say this because I don't want to denigrate anybody else, but she's much classier than just holding up a number on a card.
Oh,
they listen, BVW fans, they love Tiffany. The day I was there, I didn't get much razzing because I'm not Tiffany. I'm not as gorgeous as Tiffany is.
Right.
They were very kind to me that day, but Tiffany is gorgeous and she does a great job. So anyway, good. Thank you for your service and for Alexander's service. We appreciate it.
Our watch party is blowing up, by the way.
Is it really?
It's incredible. There's a lot of people.
Now, here's the thing with the watch party. I'm actually monitoring the regular chat room because I did not send out a watch party. So this way I can communicate with you. A watch party on Neil's phone only shows people that join the watch party. He cannot communicate with anybody unless there's a way he can figure out how to look at the chat stuff. I see a couple of chats popping in.
Yeah, Sheila Cooper. Hi, Sheila. Happy anniversary to you and David.
Right on. I saw her pop up too. So if you're sending comments, I may not be seeing them. They may be popping up on his feed. So just know that
like your wife did last week when she was responding to my chat room.
Right. I asked her about the shirts. I bought her a shirt up at the sports store, and I sent her 4 pictures of shirts. And I was like, okay, which one do you want? I hadn't gotten a reply from her. We get off the air. I'm like, which one do you want? I'm ready to buy. And I go to find out later on. She responded to me in your chat.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time because your wife has walked into rooms where both of us are and walks over to me thinking it's you.
That's right. She almost went up and kissed you one time.
Yeah.
That's right. And it happened last week at the sports store. Anyway, so we'll be up there on June 15th at Club Pilates on Lake Mead. You'll hear more about that. Actually, I'm stopping up there today after the show to work out some of the show logistics. And before we bring up Evan, and we're going to use this as a nice, what they call segue in the business.
Okay.
Talk about June 8th. We got a big show coming up.
We got a huge show coming up. Vinay from the Bronx Wanderers is going to be live in studio with his new CD for sale. We'll have merch for the Bronx Wanderers. We'll talk about Vinay and how he gets started in the industry and the business and the success of the Bronx Wanderers playing 6 nights a week at the Link here in Las Vegas on the Strip. It is the best, in my opinion, the best show in Las Vegas. And Vinay will be here. The gallery will be packed with studio guests. We're going to do the red carpet. We're going to have lots of activities going on here. And it's a great opportunity, if you have not been to Portnoy Gallery, to come down to the gallery and view the artwork on the wall that I illustrate and get to meet one of Las Vegas celebrities and just an all-around great guy, Vinay from the Bronx Wanderers.
Can I bring headshots just in case somebody wants my autograph for some reason? Or should I have him sign my headshot?
Well, maybe one of our past guests who do the headshots.
Oh, yeah.
We could invite them to be part of the festivities outside, get a little PR for them. So if you're out there listening to us, Aaron will further the itinerary and their specifics of who they are that we're talking about right now. Go.
Absolutely. So that goes to Lindsay Parker. I'm tagging her in the feed right now. And I'll get back with her. By the way, Jeff Bearden wrestled under the name of the Giant Warrior.
7 foot tall.
That's right. We did the show.
He killed me one day.
That's right. Well, I had Neil and you, and I forgot if there was someone else. Oh, Kevin Cross was in with us too.
The champ.
The champ. And Jeff is now down in Florida with his wife, Brittany. Jeff, thank you so much for checking in. I hope all is well. Give hugs and kisses to Brittany.
My neck still hurts.
I did.
He put me in a headlock, almost killed me.
And he put his hands around your neck, didn't he?
Yeah, he almost killed me.
See, I could have had a show all by myself. Yeah. Lindsay, I see you just jumped in. Thank you so much. Just when you get a chance, go back from this point of the podcast back about 2 minutes. Neil put something out there for you to listen to for our June 8th show, our big show with the folks from Bronx Wanderers. So check it out, and I'll follow up with you once we get off the air. So it's a great opportunity if you guys can do it. Anyway, without further ado, is that different than the sauce you dump your steak into?
No, Adu is the guy who played soccer, that Freddie Adu, wasn't it?
I thought it was basketball. Bob McAdoo.
That's a good one. But Freddie Adu, remember Freddie Adu, the phenom soccer player?
Yes. All right, without further ado, let us bring up our guest today, Evan Davis. He is a writer for the Vegas Voice. He has his own blog, EvanDavisJazz.com. He shares all of his knowledge and information about all the entertainment and entertainers and where they are and where they're going. Please welcome Evan to the show. How are you, Evan? Thank you for coming in.
I'm wonderful. Folks back there, just take it easy. Keep quiet. We don't want to.
Our security guard is keeping them under control.
Yeah, we're good.
Yes. So
welcome.
Thanks. What do we? Let's see. We have things we're not allowed to talk about, right?
Yes.
We can't talk about politics,
right?
Religion,
right?
Sex.
No, we can talk about sex.
Well, you can. We can't talk.
Put that right up into
gays, lesbian, transgender, and vegans.
Okay.
So other than that, what do we? What do we got?
Segueing into that, you have the Indy 500 going this week, right? Isn't that the Brickyard thing going this weekend?
I'm not a racer. I don't.
Well, I'm not either, but
I think it is Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, are they going to say gentlemen start your engines, or are they going to go drivers start your engines?
I think drivers. I think now they use the word drivers.
Oh, that's changed.
It's changed.
Okay.
Times have changed.
All right. So now I got to keep turning my head back and forth. Is that the whole?
No, you can do whatever you feel comfortable doing. If you want to be at a tennis match, you go right ahead.
Okay. All right.
Well,
so
welcome. We appreciate you taking
thanks.
time on Memorial Day weekend to join us.
It is. By the way, Memorial Day. It started. It was Decoration Day.
I remember.
Right back. I think it started in 1865,
Mm-hmm.
and they would decorate the graves of the Civil War people who had died in the Civil War. So now,
when did they? Do you remember the year they changed the name?
No.
Oh,
all right.
You weren't around either then. Huh?
Who knows?
Who knows?
It doesn't matter. But yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Evan Davis Jazz. We met probably, I want to say, a year ago, and I could be off because, at my age, I forget.
You mean I've actually known an entertainer in this town longer than you?
You have.
Yeah.
I've actually met Evan quite a few times while he's been guesting on different radio shows and things across town. So I actually know somebody longer than you do?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we reconnected.
Okay.
He came down to the gallery for one of the events here at the gallery.
Right.
We've been to Evan and Sandy's home for a wonderful dinner. They've been to our house for a wonderful dinner. All under the premise that we'll go outside and sit by the pool. Both times the temperature was 65 degrees. We couldn't do it. It was crazy.
I know, so we had to sit inside and drink all night. But that's terrible.
But he's a staple here in town.
Absolutely.
Does a number of shows here in town, promotes the shows, writes the blog, writes for the Vegas Voice. Give us a little bit about your background. How did you get into this?
It was pretty much somewhat of a fluke. Came to town in, I think, 2008. It's a whole long story. Do we have time? Sure.
Yeah. We
All
have
right.
time.
I came here in 2008. I'll try to go quickly through it.
Now take your time. We got an hour.
We got
Okay.
an hour.
And a good friend of mine, our realtor, she started taking us out every night before we even moved here. When we started coming out
And
here
you moved
visiting.
from where? You moved from where?
We were down in South Florida, the Fort
Okay.
Lauderdale area.
Okay.
And then we just ended up, shorter story, we were able to move out here. So we moved out here and we were going out every night. And I was meeting a lot of entertainers. They get a little email list going and they would say to me, "Can you help promote my show I have coming up? I'll send you my flyer."
In the background to be able to do that, was there a background? Had you promoted before in the past, or was this something you got into?
No, I've never promoted.
So they were coming up to
before,
you
so-
saying, "Hi,
Hey, yeah, you got some email list. Why don't you just send it out
Love
to
it.
the 100 people I may have had? Now I got
Good.
about 2,500 on my list. And so I started doing that.
I
and
know a podcast maybe he can help out and send invites to.
and so I started getting a lot of requests from these performers to do that. And I was sending out too many emails every week. And you send out more than a couple a week, they're just going to delete them.
Right.
So someone said to me, "Why don't you start a blog, put one email out with a link and tell people to come and take a look at that."
Sure.
So I ended up doing that and started getting so many requests. I had to put a calendar together. And I'm now on my fourth or fifth website, but I put a calendar together and put the calendar on my website. And then I started also, promoting a lot of shows for other people.
Here in Vegas.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, only in Vegas.
Okay.
And what had also happened, I started getting requests from people out of town. "Oh, listen, can we'd love to do a show in Vegas. Can you find something for us?" And I would actually say to them, "No." I would feel like I forgot the word I'm looking for.
I was
But
going to say you could use that word.
but not promoting the people in town and bringing someone
You
from
can
out of
say
town. when we
schmuck.
have-
You get three
we-
Jews
we've
on the
got-
panel. It's okay. You can say schmuck.
You're talking about a booker or like a producer.
Yeah, but I wouldn't feel like I was loyal to the people here in town.
People have asked you, "Can you be my agent?" And we talked about this at one point. We said, well, being a promoter and being an agent are two totally different things.
Being a manager and being an agent are also two totally different things.
Okay.
And I don't want to be either of those. I have no desire to actually work hard. There's no way I'm gonna do that. But I do enjoy making some money, so I can make some money on what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And promote our wonderful local talent here in Las Vegas.
Yes, and also enjoy it. When I stop enjoying it, it's when I'll stop doing it.
Right on.
So you've got a few shows coming up in the near future, a couple of huge shows. You've done a lot of shows here in Vegas. The name Evan Davis is synonymous with promoting shows. We've got a number of promoters here in town, but you mentioned your name and people go, "I know him. Yeah, I did a show with him way back when, or I did a show, or I got a show coming up." Talk about the shows you've got coming up.
Well, I will in a second, but let me just go back a little and tell you that I got involved with the Vegas Voice magazine. At that time, they were a newspaper, and now they're a magazine. And they came to me through Sam Wagmeister.
Mutual friend. Yeah.
Right. He was a nightlife editor. He wrote for them, and he thought I'd make a nice compliment for the magazine. And we met, and they said, "Hey, we'd love you to write for us." And I said, "In other words, you want me to write for you, and you pay me nothing?" And I said, "Yeah, that's basically the gig." And I said, "I'm not a writer, so I don't need that. I'm having a lot of fun with what I'm doing, and just circulating. It's great." And I said, "Thank you, but no thanks." A couple of months later, they came back to me and said, "We've decided that we're going to get heavily into shows and entertainment. We want you to be our entertainment editor, and we would like you to produce all our shows. We get the venues, we let you know where it's going to be, what time, and you go ahead and you get the entertainment, put the shows together." And so I've been doing that, and and it's been working out fabulously.
How many years? When did you start doing that?
I thought you were going to ask me that. I don't remember.
At our age,
maybe
memory is
four-
the second thing that
I don't know,
goes, by
maybe
the way.
4 or 5 years with the Vegas
That's
Voice.
good.
You know, and so now we're doing a couple of dozen shows a year and looking for new venues. My next show is going to be on June 7th. Going to be Randall Keith is doing the music of Robert
Goulet, yeah, a wonderful voice,
Yes.
great entertainer, great
Yes, and
singer.
you're good friends with Vera.
Yes,
so,
yep,
right.
yep.
And he's going to be accompanied by Philip Fortenberry. And
Sweet.
Philip is a genius on the piano.
Sweet.
And I love him. He's great.
Where's it going to be held at?
That's at the Italian American Club.
The
on
IAC Club on
Friday, June 7th,
Sahara.
8 o'clock. Yeah, East Sahara.
right.
And then after that, I've got 2 shows back to back with a group called the Folk Legacy Trio.
Who
A couple of
George is a friend of mine. George
Yeah,
Grove, the
couple of
banjo
guys
player.
from the Kingston Trio, and
Yep.
one guy was the lead singer of, I think, the Diamonds.
Correct.
And they are just doing folk music, which we don't have really a lot in town, but they are so good.
Harmonizing is incredible.
I had them on a variety show a couple of months ago, and they got a standing ovation, and they were yelling more.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and so it was great. So we're bringing them for 2 shows. One is going to be at Sun City McDonald Ranch on Horizon in Henderson. That's going to be on the 22nd, the Saturday night of
June, yeah.
7 o'clock show. And then the next day in the afternoon, we're doing a sort of a matinee at 4 o'clock at the Italian American Club on June 23rd.
And tickets are available. How can people reach out to you to get tickets?
Actually, if they want, they can call me.
Okay.
But we have a ticket hotline for the Vegas Voice, which is 702-755-3799. That's 702-755-3799. And that's the Vegas Voice ticket hotline, where you can get tickets for any of the shows that I'm producing in Vegas Voice.
So you're producing and Vegas Voice is sponsoring the show.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
under their
yeah.
umbrella, so to speak.
Sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I have heard George Grove, who's the guitar player, part of the Folk Legacy Trio, sent me Standing on the Shoulders of Time or Greats. I forgot what it was. It is, I listened to it with my headphones on. The harmonizing that these 3 gentlemen do is absolutely phenomenal. It brings you back, especially at my age, brings you back to the Peter, Paul, and Mary, the Kingston Trio, you know, Joni Mitchell, that whole era of when folk music was huge in this country. And it's so nice to be able to go back, sit there, relax, and listen to the songs that they sing. They can all sing, they can all play guitar, and it's a wonderful evening. It's going to be a great event.
It is. It is going to be a great event, and I'm really excited about that myself, to see them do a full show.
Yeah,
And
because
so
you know,
it's-
we've seen
yeah.
them
do
in
a
our
couple of
homes.
numbers
and-
here,
yeah,
there,
exactly,
whatever it may be, but
exactly.
it's going to be nice. And then we're taking the month of July off, and we're going to kick off
What's the matter? The 115-degree weather's going to
and,
bother us or what?
August 18th at the Performing Arts Center at the Clark County Library,
right?
which is on East Flamingo by
Right.
Maryland.
Yep.
We're doing a show, and it's going to be Woodstock 50-year anniversary.
Do you believe
So-
it's been 50 years since Woodstock? I mean, that's crazy.
I was 4.
Keep it up. Keep
God.
it up. I know
But
we got a
here's the
rookie.
thing, though. You look just as old as we are.
Thank you.
So-
I feel it
so,
too.
Yeah. So
I don't know if
it
that was
doesn't
a
matter.
compliment or not. I don't know where that was going.
You know what? It came from heaven. I'll take it no matter how it was intended.
But it's going to be a great show. It's going to feature music from Jefferson Airplane, The Who, Janis Joplin, Joe Cocker, Crosby, Stills, Nash, Santana.
Hey, maybe
Joan
we
Baez.
maybe just maybe, and
Mhm.
I don't know how or where this individual will be during the time of the show, but Stephanie Calvert. Do you know Stephanie?
No, I don't.
Stephanie sings for Starship.
Well, give her a call.
I will give her a call, tell her
Ask
about
if she
this
wants
show.
to make
Wouldn't
a
that
little
be
guest-
something to have
guest
Stephanie come?
appearance and
She would, if she's in town, she'll be there.
Mhm.
She's a sweetheart. She just got engaged to Chris, who's the
He's in Little River Band.
Little River Band, a keyboard player for Little River Band. Say that 3 times quick. But if I can reach out to Stephanie and send her the information here and see if she's in town, she could possibly come and do a guest appearance.
have her give me a call. By the way, if anyone else wants to make reservations or get tickets for any of the shows, they can call me personally direct. My cell number, it's out all over every bathroom wall in town. 702-630-6111, 630-6111. And so if you need anything.
Is any of this information on your website?
Oh, sure. It's on my website. It'll be in my emails. I sent an email out once a month,
Okay.
once a week, I'm sorry, on Wednesday. And on that email, or in that email, there'll be flyers. I use Constant Contact with that, but
Sure.
there'll be flyers and information. And all those flyers are shows that either I'm producing or actually getting paid to.
One of the things that we
promote those.
discussed yesterday, and you brought down a gentleman from the Vegas Voice yesterday to visit the gallery. And we had talked about, we don't know whether this will come to fruition or not, but there may be in the works, if we can work the numbers and the sponsors and the promoters and all the good people that get involved monetarily, to produce a limited edition signed collectible print of that show to be offered during the meet and greet at the show, or handed out to the first X amount of people to walk in. Just stay tuned. Follow.
Stay tuned for.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with that. It may happen, it may not happen, but it's something we're discussing.
You can go on evandavisjazz.com, and I will leak out information as we get closer to the show.
It'll be like WikiLeaks.
Yes.
It'll be his own style
but
WikiLeaks.
We'd be indicted because another thing came up.
Are you talking about doing something for the August event? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have a gig that day that I'm doing.
Doing a
so-
wrestling gig or
No wrestling. The JCC, the Jewish Community Center.
Yeah.
They're having what's called a mitzvah showcase, where everybody who can do like weddings and bar mitzvahs, like
Oh,
caterers
nice. So
and musicians.
you'll be showing what you do. You
I'll be
speak.
I'll be emceeing that event and
Nice.
putting myself out there too.
Good for you.
I've actually emceed a bas mitzvah a couple of years ago.
How do you MC a bat mitzvah?
Well, you're the guy who's out in front directing everybody to come up and do the hora and come cut the cake, and the mother, father. The DJ was there
Yeah,
because normally they would do it or the band leader would.
right. Yeah.
But the DJ just wanted to spin music, and I knew the lady who was doing it, and they said, "Would you be interested?" I said, "Is it a paying gig?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Then I'll be
I'll
there."
do it.
Well,
There we go. Love
it's
it.
like an entertainment director on a cruise ship.
Exactly.
So
That's right. That's exactly what. And my wife
that-
was able to come with me. We had dinner on behalf as part of my comp package. So
You talk about the entertainment director on a cruise ship. I got to tell you a funny story. A number of years ago, Dorothy and I went on a cruise, and we met the cruise director, the entertainment director, and she said, "Well, you should be part of the variety show." Knowing what I do, I said, "No, I can't. I do this professionally. It wouldn't be fair to your other guests on the show." She said, "No, you got to do it." She finally convinced me to do it. She said, "What do you need?" I said, "Just bring me up on stage. I'll do my Portnoy pop quiz. How much is 5 and 5, 6, that whole thing I do. And give me a big white flip chart with a large black magic marker. And I'll pull somebody from the crowd, and a guy with bald head, goatee, someone like you and I, Aaron.
yeah,
And I'll do this quick little cartoon, and I'll do the pen drop. The mic drop, the pen drop. So she convinced me to do it. Needless to say, I won the gold medal. I won the event, but I felt so guilty because I do this for a living. It wasn't fair to the other people that
Right.
did karaoke.
So what's the story?
That's the story. I got
Okay.
nothing
he was
more.
comparing drawing to karaoke.
We
Yeah.
only have an hour today. so-
That's right.
I know. I throw these little tidbits in that throw us off.
By the way,
That's right.
I want to do a quick reset, but I want to acknowledge RJ Gill is checking in from Singapore, watching our show
We
right
are
now.
definitely worldwide.
That's
people.
right. Thank you, RJ. If you would, please reshare the link for this to your wall and have your friends watch as well.
And Dennis Park just joined my watch party. Dennis Park
Yep.
is in
Oh, yeah.
China.
Is he in
Oh,
China now?
He's in China. So not
We
only
are
are
international.
we are international.
Dennis
We
is
have
a
the
friend.
Asian community checking in.
Dennis is
Yes.
a friend, but
Correct.
I very rarely go and stand next to him.
He's very tall. He still plays basketball. He's like 6'5".
That's
You're-
it.
You're listening and watching to Twin Brothers from Different Mothers, coming to you live from Portnoy Gallery here in the heart of Las Vegas. I am Aaron Phillips, wearing the flag around his chest, and the other bald guy on the far end is Neil Portnoy, who is the master illustrator and award-winning magician with markers for over the years. And sitting between us is our guest today, Mr. Evan Davis, who is all about the entertainment in Las Vegas and getting the word out there. He writes for the Vegas Voice, as well as a blog on his own site, evandavisjazz.com. So check it out if you want to know what's going on, if you need help, promotion, whatever. This is the man to check out. And you can email him at, I have it here, right here. Let's not cheat anybody. evan@evandavisjazz.com.
Correct.
There you go.
Yeah.
I read it just the way it was written.
I know.
Somebody once asked me,
Yes.
"What's the best artwork you've ever done?" And my response every time was, "The next one."
Mhm.
I'm going to throw that at you.
Uh-huh.
What's the best promoted event you've ever done?
Well, now I have to say the next one.
I knew that was coming.
But the truth is, a couple of years ago, we did a summer of '65, I think it was, or something like that. And it was a funny story. It's a story with this too. It was probably about 3 years ago, and we were doing it at the Silverton, and it was going to be a big production. So I was going to get a bunch of singers come up, do maybe one song each, like maybe 20 people.
Sure.
I had a little band, and I needed to get a named guest. So I made a couple of phone calls, Frankie Shinta, and I'd love to if I'm in town, but I can't commit yet. Cliff Holmes, I'd love to if I'm in town. I'll be there, but I can't commit to
Sure.
hosting. It's one thing if you schedule to appear and to do a number and I don't show. It's okay, but not hosting. So why don't you call? Geez, Arik. I got to remember his name now.
Geez, Arik, is he in town?
I was going to say,
Geez, Arik.
what part of New York
Why
is he
don't you
from?
call
Geez,
Bob?
Arik.
Why don't you call Bob Anderson?
Right.
And I said, "Oh, okay." And Bob, I barely knew him. I met him once on one of the first shows that I was hosting.
That's an incredible
So-
Sinatra.
Oh, yeah. So I
Scary.
met him once, and I had his phone number. So I'm sitting at a friend's pool by myself, and I dial his number. I said, "Okay, I'll leave a message," and because I'm sure he's not going to answer the phone, I'll leave a message, tell him who I am. If he calls me back, all right. He picks up the phone. I go, "Oh, what do I say now?"
Right.
So I explain to him. I tell him what I'm doing and who I am. He says, "Oh yeah, I remember you. Sure." They all say that, but no, he did remember me. So we're talking, and he says, "Well, okay, but I'd like to pick my own band." I said, "Well, I already have a band." So he said, "Oh, okay." He says, "Well, who do you have performing? What do you got? About 4 or 5 different singers?" I said, I got about a dozen. I really had more, but I didn't want to tell him. He says, "Oh," and he didn't really know a lot of people on the local scene in town. I said, "Don't worry, I'll co-host with you. I'll write up little bios, just do the intros and everything else." Well, it turned out to be the best show. We had probably close to 1,000 people.
Wow.
That we got in there.
Wow.
And Frankie and Clint, they showed up, and they would jump on stage with Bob and just have a lot of fun. It was a great show, and that's when I learned that shows shouldn't go more than about 90 minutes.
Hour and 20 minutes is the norm, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that was, but that was
the first time I met
best.
him. The first time I met Bob Anderson, I think I was down at the Italian American Club, and I had never met him, and people were telling me about him, and he's showing me pictures on his phone of the transformation to Sinatra, and he has the makeup guy do. You couldn't tell him side by side who was who. I mean, brilliant, and he does a brilliant show. Very, very talented. Which segues me into. You've been in Vegas a while now, not a long time, but a while now. If you had to do a top 10 list of, without playing favorites, your top 10 talented singers that you enjoy, and it doesn't mean that they're the best, it's someone that you enjoy, who would your top 10 be? Can you think off the cuff?
That's really putting me on the spot.
Well, that's what I do.
'Cause I know, but I
Without playing favorites, I preface it.
I will tout some people that I really enjoy, and people that I respect.
That's all I'm asking.
And but it doesn't necessarily mean that anyone that I don't mention is someone that I don't think is good or anything like that.
Everyone's good here.
by any means.
Correct.
I mean, we've got such great talent that even.
Okay, you
Gosh,
skirted
so-
the issue enough.
I'm
Give me your
trying to.
top
He's
10.
not
I
running.
know.
Is he running
I'm
for
not gonna-
politics or something?
Yes.
I'm not going to do that, but there are some people who when I've met them and heard them sing, I knew they were someone special.
That's a good way to
mean,
put it.
I knew they were someone very special, and I would do things to help promote them and take them around because I really felt that way. And I mean, some of the people, Amanda King, I just think that she's a marvelous singer,
Great
jazz singer.
yep.
I'm
yep.
when I heard her sing the first time, I was at Bootlegger at Kelly's open mic.
Yep.
And as soon as I heard her sing, I went up to Kelly and I said, "Who is she?" And she said, "Oh, you like her, huh?"
Yeah, it's
I
Amanda
said,
King.
"Yeah."
Yep.
And I got her information and had her on a couple of my shows. And I love to, Amanda, if you're watching, or see this, we need to talk. As you had mentioned, we need to do something.
She just recently jumped in with Chadwick Johnson at the Rocks Lounge up at Red Rock Casino.
Yep.
And did a song by herself and one with Chadwick. And the one, Dorothy and I were both there, as well as you and your wife, Sandy. The song she did with Chadwick, the harmonizing was incredible. She's
like
that
they
good.
rehearsed it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, well, they did. Yeah.
No. And Chadwick's another guy that when I first heard him sing, I knew he was something special.
Mm-hmm.
He's great. Jonathan Carant is just also a great jazz singer.
Yeah, the number, what was he, number 4 on one of the bigger charts, up and coming jazz singers in the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant voice, both of them.
Yeah.
There's 3. We got 7 more to go.
I didn't mention those as 3 of my tops. Those are just 3 people that
3 people, yeah.
that I really like, and we're not going any further.
Okay.
There's so many out there, and forgive me, guys. I mean,
So
and there's a lot of guys that you don't hear, you don't see much.
And all of a sudden you see him jump in with somebody. Go, who is that?
Right,
Yeah.
right. I know.
This town is incredible. Aaron, go ahead.
yeah, no, Evan, I want to ask you more of a broad general question.
Sure.
People who are out there who are entertainers who want to come to Vegas for their first time,
Right.
what would you recommend advice-wise or key tips or whatever, just a couple, to those entertainers who want to come to Vegas to perform here?
Well, let me first say this. When an entertainer comes to town here, it's a very small town.
Mm-hmm.
And all the entertainers here seem to be a lot nicer to each other and work well with each other, more so than in LA
agree.
or some of the other big
I
cities.
agree.
So if you come to town with your nose up in the air, like your shit doesn't stink,
Right.
and you think you're something special,
You will be recognized right away.
You will be ostracized. You will be pushed to the side, and it'll take a long time for you to make up what you did as far as that goes. So if they want to come to town, they got to come to town very humble. If they're a middle of the road and haven't really performed in a real large venues or large groups or anything like that, then they're going to have to go out to the open mics and start doing a little of that, so people recognize them, see them.
And at the open mics, let me just jump in and mention, all the other entertainers are there. It's not just a nobody sitting in the crowd that jumps up and sings. These are people performing in venues in Vegas.
Right, but a lot of performers, they want to start getting a brand. They want to brand themselves in some way. And what you need to be careful about is that you can't get into a niche where people can go see you every night doing a couple of songs at an open mic, or seeing you play free, somewhere all the time or something. That can be a detriment
Sure.
in trying to get your brand out there and things along those lines. And you do need a good manager. An agent is someone who's going to find gigs for you. A manager is someone who's going to manage you as a performer and as a person.
As a branding.
Right.
They're going to brand you.
Right. And so it's a whole different ballgame. And most of the performers in town here do not have managers. They they think they can manage themselves, or their significant other can do, or whatever it may be. It's not the case. If you're serious about your profession, then you need to get a manager.
Do it the right way.
And listen to them.
I was on social media the other day, and Sheila Cooper, in fact, posted a 1992 video of the great, and I use that term because he is, Clint Holmes. 1992, singing with the UCLA choir. Unbelievable. And the unbelievable part, and I posted the response to it, his voice has not changed. He's still brilliant. To me, my opinion, if I had to put number one performer, and I know a lot of the entertainers here in town, it's Clint Holmes. Nobody sings like Clint Holmes. I'm sorry.
I didn't mention him because I consider him to be a headliner on the Strip.
A league of his own.
Even because he was a headliner on the Strip, and that's also something. When I came here, I was in such awe when I found out that some of these performers, they played with the biggest names in
best
in
of the
world.
best. Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, that's right. I opened for Sinatra. I was on the road with him for 3 years. You were?
It's not just, but it's not just the singers. We
Wow.
talked about this off air at your house or my house, I don't remember, but the guitar players, the keyboardists, the drummers, the horn people. If you do a who's who here in Las Vegas of those performers, they've played with Sinatra, with Wayne Newton, with all of the bands. Their resume of who they've performed with is incredible. And you get, I mean, we go down to Tuscany, every Wednesday night for Kelly's show, Dorothy and I, and we sit there and people, when their show closes on the Strip, they all come down to Tuscany to jump in with Kelly. I'm sitting there and a guy sits down next to me, gray-haired, tall gentleman, and we're striking up a conversation like he's my best buddy. It's Bill Medley from the Righteous Brothers. I mean, crazy. But that happens here in Vegas. Yep. And like you said, if you don't walk around with your nose up in the air, you're more accepted and you become one of them and their friends, true friends.
And you also have to be out and about constantly.
Yes.
Because when you're not out, people forget all about you.
That's right.
It happens to me. It'll happen to you and everyone else.
Out of sight, out of mind.
That's right. You go, oh, so who had a party last week?
That's
How come
right.
I wasn't invited? Well, you weren't there. Or I'd be out somewhere and so I'd be schmoozing and talking and they'd go, oh yeah. Oh, by the way, Thursday we're having a whole bunch of people. Why don't you come over? I mean, you wouldn't get invited if you weren't standing right there.
It's just like you mentioned to me with Showcase.
Yeah.
I've yet to go and I've got to go. And you said you need to go and you need to go multiple times. So all of a sudden your visual is acceptable.
And there's a whole different class of people there than you see when you go to the Tuscany or Italian American Club or whatever. Completely different crowd of people. These are a good portion of them are people who are performing on the Strip, who you don't see anywhere else. Musicians who are playing, 7 nights a week on the Strip with or 8 shows a week or whatever it may be. And then you're going to also meet a lot of people who come out and support that venue that you won't see at some of the smaller hotels and clubs.
David Tatlock, who we had on the show from the Soul Juice Band,
right?
We went down, I think last Saturday, over to the B side of the House of Blues at Mandalay, and it's a great band. It's a horn band. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but it's really a powerhouse horn band. And I'm watching the guy on trumpet, who's this like 6'4" thin guy, and David's introducing everybody, and then he introduces him as the trumpet player for Human Nature. I'm going, wait a minute. I've seen Human Nature multiple times. It didn't click that, as we said, these guys play with everybody. And Human Nature is the boy band before, In Sync and all that. They're the Australian version of Worldwide, played all venues all over the world.
All right. Go Monday night, early venue now at 7:00 to see Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns.
Great show.
Freaking group. I mean,
they
used to be most of them used to be the band for Clint
right
at Harris for all those years. I mean, they're professional musicians.
And one of the singers,
$10, that's what it costs.
Right, $10. I'd be really. One of the singers for Santa Fe is Lanny Counts. Lanny can sing the phone book, in my opinion. Just a brilliant
Actually,
performer.
I can use a couple of phone books.
You feel a little short as us. But Lanny's got a show tonight at the Starbright Theater, Sun City. The greatest R&B songs ever written, produced by Clint Holmes. So that show's almost sold out. There's only a few tickets left. I thought I'd throw that out there.
Oh, by the way, just a Woodstock show. If all goes well, depending on whether Frankie Shinta is going to be in town, he's waiting to hear whether he's going to be in Sicily during that time frame. If he is in town, he will be hosting the show.
Oh, great! Funny man.
Yeah, he is, and he's just a nice guy too. I mean,
he's all of what? You must feel tall next to Frankie.
No, he's that's okay. But he's a sweetheart, a nice guy. Just a pleasure to
I agree
to be with and socialize with. Yeah.
I agree.
To all those jumping into the chat room, we thank you for joining us here at Twin Brothers from Different Mothers on Memorial Day weekend. Again, we want to give a special shout out to all those who served, past, present, coming up, families, everybody, for being able to allow us to do what we do because of your service. And we appreciate you enjoy Memorial Day. You're listening to Evan Davis. He is the man about entertainment. He writes a blog through his website, evandavisjazz.com, or you can find his writing at the Vegas Voice. Now, if someone wants to join your news list, your email list, how can someone reach out to you?
Well, on my website, there is a little box that says subscribe.
Okay.
And if you click that on, put your name and email address in there, you will get on the email list, which, by the way, you'll get one email a week. It'll come out on Wednesday with a link to the calendars, and there'll be some flyers on there. Once in a while, there may be a second email that week if I'm really pushing or promoting some shows that I'm really excited about. But you won't be flooded with emails from that. Or you can just call me and say, hey, here's my email address. Put me on the list. Again, evandavisjazz.com, or you can call me at 702-630-6111.
I want to, before, as we wrap up, we only have about 5 or 10 minutes left, and I want to thank everybody again for jumping in the chat room. Please reshare this feed on your wall. There's a segment that I used to do in the past on different shows that I've hosted called Getting to Know You. And there's probably not anybody in the chat room that doesn't know who you are, but I always like to get behind the face of the individual, some things that people out there may not know. So these are just rapid fire questions, nothing that'll catch anybody off guard.
For you, yeah.
For me?
For you. No one cares about what I do or Neil does. You're the guest today. So just the first thing that comes to mind is how I want you to answer. No deep thought, no nothing, unless I stump you with one, and you got to think for a second, okay? So I'm going to throw you an easy one.
All right. I wish I weighed less. Okay. What's the next one?
That wasn't one of the
That
top
wasn't
10.
one of them.
That's the answer I'm going to give you on every one.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
What's your favorite song of all time?
Oh, crap. I have two.
Okay.
All right. Saturday Night, Loneliest Night of the Week by Sinatra's version,
Okay.
and Take the A Train.
Oh, okay. Very good. Favorite actor of all time, TV or movies, whatever. Just the male version.
No, maybe Dustin Hoffman.
Okay, that's a good one.
Do you know that Dustin Hoffman, Al Pacino, and Robert De Niro are really the same person?
You never see them in the same room
Right,
together.
right.
Favorite actress of all time.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I don't know if I have the favorite actress.
Okay, fair enough.
Sophia Loren.
There you go.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
Yeah.
If right now, favorite meal. Give me every part of your favorite meal that you love to
Every
eat.
part of my
Yeah,
favorite.
well, like your sides.
Tuna
and
sandwich.
steak and spaghetti.
steak and spaghetti.
That's
That's
it.
an interesting combo. Okay. If money were no object, what would be your all-time favorite car that you'd like to see parked in your driveway someday?
One I have now. That's it. No, that was just some other answer, but I don't know. I've had a lot of different cars, and probably some type of Mercedes.
Okay, very cool. Favorite vacation destination, whether it's a place you've already visited or a place you'd like to go to?
It's so difficult. I love Paris. Is probably my favorite city,
Okay.
but Italy's my favorite country. And it's so difficult. We live in a vacation paradise
Right,
here.
right.
And before this, for 20 years, before I got here, I lived in South Florida. So there was no place to go to vacation there
Right,
either. You know,
sure.
so it's tough.
Okay. Generally, what's your favorite leisure thing to do? What do you like to do to wind down?
I think wine was in
Wine
that.
was part of
Okay,
it.
I think that happened. No, actually, it's tough to wind down. Every time I have some free time, like I'll have a day and I'll say, God, I hope I have nothing to do today.
Right.
You know, I'm either by the computer working on my calendar
Right.
or on a flyer or emails or working on something or answering phone calls. I'll say, okay, I wish I had nothing to do. And then I have a day like that. And I go sit out by the pool. And after about an hour looking at my toes in the water, I go, I'm a little bored, you know? So
Right.
it's tough.
I know the feeling.
But what I do enjoy, though, is hanging by the pool with a couple of friends,
Mhm.
drinking some
Favorite adult beverage?
Yes, and just doing that. That's
Right on.
socializing
Good
with
answer.
good friends is
Last question.
Yeah.
Okay. For everybody watching, maybe who's
Yes.
never been to Vegas,
Ah.
who is planning on coming back, what is your favorite Las Vegas thing to do?
eat. I love, and unfortunately, it's all on the strip. All the hotels. I got Joe's Stowe Crab is one of my favorites.
That's next to Caesars, right? Next to the.
It's in there. A steakhouse called Bavette's. It used to be in the old Monte Carlo, it's not the Park MGM. Sinatra's in the Encore.
Okay.
But food in Vegas
Food-based.
is my
What's your favorite leisure
Yeah.
thing?
A favorite chef? Do you know any of the chefs in town?
no, not really. Not really.
Because
Although
there's so many wonderful chefs.
yeah.
can I add one thing in?
Yeah, we got to wrap up. Go for it.
Favorite breakfast spot?
You know, making my own breakfast or having Sandy make
At
breakfast
home.
is usually the best.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, but
Right on. All right, real quickly, go over your events that are upcoming and contact information.
okay. The events, June 7th at the Italian American Club, the music of Robert Goulet with Randall Keith and Philip Fortenberry. June 22nd at the Italian American Club, 8 o'clock show. It is Folk Legacy Trio, guys from the Kingston Trio and the Diamonds. Great show. Then, the 22nd is at Sun City McDonald Ranch. They will be there. The 23rd, they'll also be at the Italian American Club in the afternoon at 4 o'clock. And then in August 18th, a big Woodstock 50-year anniversary show, which will be a big blowout show at the Clark County Performing Arts Center at Clark County Library on East Flamingo. They can get tickets for any of those shows by calling the Vegas Voice ticket hotline at 702-755-3799, or you can call me, Evan Davis, at 702-630-6111.
Whether you are a resident here of Las Vegas, you're considering to move here, or you're just coming for a vacation, you'll never have nothing to do in this town. And as things that Neil and I have been saying since we've started this back in November, there is so much entertainment in this town that has nothing really to do with the strip per se as the typical headliners, that there's so much to enjoy in Vegas. There's so much culture. There's so many things to do. And the things that Evan is talking about here certainly represents that, and things that he lets folks know what go on here. So if you want more information on the things that Evan posts, just go to his website, evandavisjazz.com, and you have a subscribe button there on the page, and you'll be on his email that you'll only get once a week, he promises, to get all the information of what's going on. Evan, thank you so much for joining on this Memorial Day weekend. We appreciate it.
Thank
Taking
you.
the time, our pleasure.
Thank you, brothers from another.
Next
Twin
time you come on, you have to put a skull cap on.
Yeah, and there are so many things I still want to talk about next time.
We'll
about
rebook.
what's
Absolutely.
going on.
We'd love to have you back on and share. All right, just a couple of things to remind our audience. Next Saturday, June 1st, we are dark. No live version of Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. I will be out of town, but you can go to our Facebook page. You can go to our YouTube channel, Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. Go to iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, all the sites you see up behind us, and you can catch any past show. We also air twice a day on Live 365, courtesy of KLAB. Is an internet station, 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. You'll catch the best of Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. So you won't have to go far to miss us, because you can catch us on any particular channel that you like. June 8th is the big show down here, 11 to 1 with Vin A from the Bronx Wanderers. And June 15th, as we announced earlier, we will be live on site, Club Pilates on the West Lake Mead and Buffalo location. So, hey, all of you out there, why don't you talk about how people better jump on our train, Mr. Neal?
Yeah, the Twin Brothers from Different Mothers podcast is quickly becoming the fastest growing podcast here in Las Vegas. If you'd like to inquire about promoting possibilities, sponsorship possibilities, or being a guest on the show, you can reach out to us at...
You can email us at Twin Brothers. Geez, you threw me for a loop there.
I'm sorry.
How can they? Oh, is it info? No,
No.
better idea. Just go to our page, our Facebook page, click on the button that says, I've totally blanked. Oh, Twin Brothers Different Mothers at gmail.com. Go to our Facebook page, click the blue button that says send message, and we will reply pretty darn quickly, because I've got all those emails synced to my phone.
And we are booked with guests right through July now.
Our most recent booking is July 6th.
Yeah, so I
we're
mean, if you
booking.
want to be a guest on the show, what we do is promote you.
Exactly.
You know, we promote ourselves. We do quite well with that, and we always throw the little plugs in about who we are and how you could utilize what we do. But our job as co-hosts of Twin Brothers from Different Mothers is to promote you, your product, your services to the public here, the locals here in Las Vegas. But as you can see by people who have joined us, we are international. We are on a number of streaming sites, from iTunes to Stitcher to you name it, we're on it.com. I just invented that.
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
Tiffany, you're welcome to crash the show anytime, my dear.
Yeah, I want to meet Tiffany.
Well, maybe come to the next wrestling match at the end of June.
Yeah, but knowing you, you'll have me in the ring.
No,
I'm
I have
not
no.
going-
I have nothing to do with putting people in the ring. I'm just
'Cause
behind the microphone
All
broadcasting.
right, good, because I'm not. I don't have any
No,
athletic
you're
ability
not ring.
left.
You're not ring shape. Tiffany, come on down anytime. Leave the other half at home. You just come down to join the two bald guys. How's
That's
that?
right. Perfect.
Anyway, so we have a lot going on. We'll send you information. Listen. Now's the time to get on the gravy train. Any last thoughts and comments as we sign off?
Look, we're in Memorial Day weekend. The objective, only one objective, is to be safe. Do whatever you want to do that you enjoy, wherever you are in the world, the country, or here in Las Vegas. It is time to honor those, celebrate those, and enjoy oneself.
Absolutely. Be safe. Enjoy. As I always like to say, signing off of a show. Be kind to each other because we are all we have to get through this life. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please reshare the feed. Be on the lookout for our podcast links in the next couple of days. And again, thank you for our guest, Evan.
Thank you, boys, for having me on here. Don't drink and drive. Take Lyft. Take Lyft. I have stock in Lyft.
I love it.
Or call a friend. Worst case scenario, call somebody you know that'll get you out of trouble.
You got my number.
Have a great week, everybody. From all of us here at Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. Have a great week.
Ciao.